In this lesson, we're going to talk about the final assignment for the volume. Alright, so with this volume we talked about creating a mood with your levels. And you can do that with adding lights, you can do it with adding sound, and you can do it with adding effects. So now that we've started adding this pass, I want you to add it to the final assignment from your last volume. And so your scene, hopefully you've created a scene where pieces are just strewn all over the place. It looks like somebody has searched through the area frantically looking for something valuable. And so what I want you to do is I want you to create a night scene, and then I want you to play with the lights a little bit. I want you to make the cave feel like it's cold, like it hasn't been visited in a little while. You could do that with lights, if you remember how we can do that. I want you to make it feel like a cool type of environment, and just a single light in the cave itself that just barely lights up anything inside. We want it to feel very abandoned, as if it's been that way for several years, but somebody has come in recently and has possibly made it their home. Okay, so go ahead and play with the lights. You might even play with that sound a little bit, start to adjust things like the pitch, the volume on that, even kind of playing around with some of that attenuation on the sound itself, trying to get an idea of how that works. Okay, and so that is your final assignment for that. Create a mood with that. And then just to go beyond that, instead of doing maybe a night scene, maybe you might want to make it an evening scene. Make it seem like you know, kind of a pleasant type of scene. Play around with the colors of those lights. You might even come in and start to create your own particle system. So maybe you want to modify the dust particle system a little bit more. I just challenge you to kind of experiment with that. And then in our next volume, we're going to talk about adding interactivity to our game. So how do we allow the player to come in? How do we allow them to play with objects in the scene? How do we get them to interact with those? And so we're going to be creating a player object that they'll actually come in and they can control it, and it'll be an actual player where they're moving along the ground instead of floating around like what we've been doing. We'll talk about how to add collisions and physics to objects that we can interact with, and then we'll also talk about creating just a mini puzzle. And so I hope you guys had fun in this particular volume. I hope that you're kind of getting an idea of how lighting and how all of this comes together to create an atmosphere and a mood, and we'll finish it all off in the next volume. So I'll see you guys in the next volume.